In the Algebra Refresher packet, starting with number 13, write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that has a slope of -3 and passes through 4, -7. So the slope of -3 tells me this m value, and then the point gives me an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. So using y equals mx plus b, I'm going to insert -7 for y, -3 for m, and 4 for x, so that I can solve for b, the y-intercept. So I multiply -3 times 4 is -12, and add 12 to -7, and that gives me a b value of 5. So now that I know the y-intercept is 5, I can write the equation y equals -3x plus 5. Number 14. What are the x and y intercepts? So to find the x-intercept, it means that y is 0. So I'm going to insert 0 in for y. And since 5 times 0 is 0, I end up with 2x equals 30. Divide by 2 to get x equals 15. So the x-intercept is 15, or you could also write this as 15, 0. To find the y-intercept, we make x 0. So I'm going to put 0 in for x, which is going to make that term drop out, 0. So this is -5y equals 30. Divide by -5, y equals -6. So my y-intercept is -6, or I could write that as 0, -6. Either form would be fine. Number 15. What is the slope of a line perpendicular to 3x minus 7y equals 14? So to find the slope, I need to know the slope of the line that I'm given. So I have to put this into slope-intercept form, solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 3x. So I have -7y equals -3x plus 14. And I'm going to divide everything by -7 to get y by itself, which means y equals +3 over 7x minus 2. So the slope of the line that I was given is 3/7, and so the slope of a line perpendicular is the opposite reciprocal. I flip the fraction to get 7/3, and then I switch the sign from positive to negative. So the opposite reciprocal slope is -7/3. Number 16, describe the transformation. How are the functions f of x equals the absolute value of x and g of x equals the absolute value of x minus 5 related? So they look the same except for this -5. When I have a -5 inside the absolute value signs, we're going to do the opposite of what it looks like. So the h value, the horizontal shift, is +5 units. So g of x is the f of x function, the absolute value of x, translated or shifted 5 units to the right. So 5 minus 5, x minus 5 inside the absolute value signs moves it to the right. Number 17. So graphing y equals the absolute value of x plus 1 minus 5. So my vertex is going to be the opposite. So think of this as x minus -1. So it's -1, and then my k value is -5. So the vertex is at -1, -5. And the a value, there's nothing in front of the absolute value sign, so a is 1. So I'm going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And then on the other side, I'm going to go up 1, left 1 to make that V shape. On the second graph, I see it's an inequality. There's nothing inside the absolute value with x, so my vertex is going to be 0 and +4. So I'm going to have 0 and +4 for the vertex. Now the a value in front of the absolute value sign is a -2. So that means each time I go right 1, I'm going down 2, going -2, a slope of -2. Scoot that over. Okay, so to make the V shape, I got to reflect that, go down 2, left 1. Now, the absolute value sign does not have the line underneath it, so that means it is going to be a dashed line. The points on this line are not part of the solutions. And then we got to figure out where to shade. Y is greater than, so we want y values greater than the y values on the line. So that means we're going up from the line. And so I shade in all of that area.